Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Bronco Coaches Show. Rob Lowing for Robin Hook this week as he is on the road with the hockey team. They're out in Arizona State, hosting the Broncos this weekend, a big NCHC series. But tonight we're talking men's and women's basketball here at Old Burdick's at Wings West. My first guest tonight, third-year head coach of the men's team, DJ Stevens. Coach, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you guys have won back-to-back games. Let's go first back to the Miami game back at University Arena on Saturday, a team that beat you pretty handily at their place. And then you came back and kind of returned the favor a little bit.
Yeah, that was a fun game. Our guys were really motivated to go out and play hard and just wanted to make up for the game down at their place. We didn't play our best, and we knew we could play better, and I give the guys credit. They did a really good job of making sure that we played with a lot of energy and effort, and we killed them on the boards and played really good defense, held a kid that had 40 points the game before to 0 points. So big time effort by our guys.
And great to do it in front of a pretty good crowd at University Arena. We'll definitely need them again this weekend.
No question. With Central coming in town, rivalry games are what it's all about, and we hope to have a packed house. We'd love to see as many fans as possible. Come on out and cheer us on.
You guys took the momentum from Saturday and rolled it right into Buffalo. You talked pregame that you wanted to get off to a better start than you did when you faced them at your place and lost the first time around, and you guys certainly did that, 9-0, but in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, when you're playing great defense like that, it gives you a chance to get out in transition and get some easy buckets. And, Markai scored 7 of our first 9, and he did a really good job of, just running his lane. He got to the boards, and then he got in the paint and got an easy one. So whenever you can do that, it makes a big difference.
You guys were sharing the ball really well as well, tied to the season high with 27 assists, led, of course, by Chauncey O'Day, but Donovan had 5. It seemed like everyone had a couple here and there.
Yeah, we talk about going good to great, making that extra pass and, getting our teammates involved. And guys were very unselfish and were able to share the ball. And that was one of our best performances offensively, but also assist-wise.
A few of your best performances offensively have been on the road in the last couple of weeks. You had 94 in the win at Kent State a couple of weeks ago, 92 against Akron, even though that ended up being a loss, and the 97 against Buffalo. That you guys, for whatever reason, seem to be knocking them down a little bit better at other teams' gyms than at home, at least for the time being.
We're gonna correct that this weekend. It's amazing. When you play with a lot of energy on the defensive end, those shots seem to go in a little easier. And I try to convince my guys of that. And I'd say over the last couple weeks, we've really been buying into just having more energy and effort defensively. And I think it's also helped our offense.
Absolutely, you guys have turning a lot of turnovers into points. They had 18 turnovers. You guys had a huge advantage on that. You guys were able to get out and run so that they couldn't set that press that they wanted to set up when, for a lot of the game.
Yeah, it's amazing when you're in the spots that you're supposed to be in. We were able to get those steals without, reaching. For the most part, my guys were just in their gaps, and you stick your hand out and they put the ball in your hand, and we were able to go the other way. So. Positioning has a lot to do with it, and just being in the right spots makes a big difference.
When they did get their press set, which they did a lot near the end of the game when their offense started to pick things up a little bit, you guys did a great job of breaking it. And really that subgroup that was in at the end, you had Michael Sulaka, Josh Thomas, Jack Stefanski, Marquise Joseph, Hutch Ward. Those guys were doing a great job of breaking the press, and you got a couple of easy dunks out of it.
Yeah, it's always fun when those guys that don't get to play as much get a chance to go in. And I give those guys a lot of credit. We actually showed some of their clips this morning in our film session. They did a really good job of taking care of the ball, and they did a good job of sharing the ball. A lot of times coaches get upset when you put those guys in. They think it's kind of mop-up time, and they get a little sloppy. But give those guys credit. They took care of the ball and did a really good job of playing with one another.
A lot of times those are some of the unsung heroes too, the guys that are grinding on the scout team and doing the little things in practice to help the guys who are getting a little more minutes, getting them better and getting prepared.
Yeah, whenever we can get those guys in, we definitely want to do that. I think, Josh is a kid that's made some strides, and he's been able to get some minutes, meaningful minutes for us. And then, Jack and Mike, they do a really good job with the bigs. And the guy that probably has done maybe the best job on that team has been Marquise. Marquise went from playing a lot to not playing, as much, and he's remained extremely positive, and he's done a really good job on that scout team of making those other guys better.
We talked a little bit earlier about killing Miami on the boards. You had a healthy advantage against Buffalo as well, and it started kind of with Donovan Williams the last couple of games. He had 15 against Miami, 8 the other night against Buffalo, and we talked about him as well in the pregame show, and he's not the biggest guy out there, but he's going to battle you.
Yeah, Donovan, he's a strong kid. He plays with a lot of passion. He got some toughness, and he's done a really good job of just making that extra effort to get to the boards. And a lot of times when you have that effort, it opens it up for someone else, and that's the reason we've been able to, go over 20 offensive rebounds in 2 of our last 3 games. So just hoping to continue that momentum and continue to go. Those are some of my favorite clips when we go and watch the tape. Is the shot goes up and you got 4 guys, crashing and trying to get even with their man to get offensive rebound. Those are great clips, and just speaks to the effort of our guys getting to the boards.
We had Owen go out for a couple of games, and that was kind of about the same time that Donovan went into the starting lineup. But now that Owen is back and Donovan seems to be a little bit more comfortable in that starting role, it seems like the rotation is kind of rounding out as you guys come down the stretch of the regular season here.
Yeah, we shrunk the rotation a little bit. We got to make sure we work Owen back in there. He's been playing a little bit more at the 5, which is an advantage for us, because when people, step out or switch and they're not, able to return or get back to Owen, that makes, having that shooter and the ability to stretch the floor makes a big difference. So when we play him at center, I think that's a big-time advantage for us. But we have to continue to find ways to try to get him on the floor, because he's one of our better players.
Absolutely. We're going to take a timeout here on the Bronco Coaches Show. When we come back, we'll take a look ahead to that big rivalry matchup on Saturday afternoon against Central Michigan. Stick around. We'll be right back here on the Bronco Coaches Show.
Verdicts has burgers, not burgers. Burgers. All natural, honest to bigness, bona fide, aged steak, beef, burgers. Or chickpea. And Verdicts has beer, not beer. Beer. Whether it's winning the big game or winning at life, it all happens right here at Old Verdicts.
Hi, I'm Jim Vandenberg. If you've been driving around, you've noticed empty lots and no new cars. We understand how frustrating this can be. That's why we've done the legwork for you. We're getting in CPO shipments from coast to coast to bring you the best late model vehicles with certified warranties. Don't get taken advantage of with markups on new and used cars. We make sure you get the best value for your car buying dollar. Maple Hill Auto Group, for value like no other.
Welcome back to another edition of the Bronco Coaches Show. We're here at Old Verdicts at Wings West while the downtown one gets a little bit of a renovation. We'll be here for the rest of the winter and spring semester talking tonight Bronco basketball, but also Bronco hockey and some of the other sports that are going on in season right now. But Coach, let's talk a little bit about kind of big picture as you guys prepare for Cleveland. What are some of the things? Obviously your defense has picked up in the last few games, leading to some runouts like we talked about. With kind of big picture as you get close to Cleveland, what are some of the things you want to work on and harp on in practice?
Yeah, so for us, we've had some, like I said, great momentum. I think we've been getting better in all areas. Our defense is improved. We've been doing a really good job on the boards, and as you explained, we're sharing the ball really well. And last few games, we're shooting the ball well. So I just want to continue to improve on each and every aspect of our game and go out there and play Bronco basketball.
We haven't always been a three-point shooting team this season. We don't really take that many, but it's kind of seemed like the other night it was one of those things that was just kind of contagious. Donovan hit a couple, and then Javon hit a couple. Chauncey, I think, was 3 for 4 from three. Just kind of everyone kind of caught a little piece of the fever.
Yeah, that's fun when that happens. It's contagious when the guys see the ball go through the rim and the ball's moving, and everybody's making the right plays. That ball seems to go in a little easier. So we got to continue to just move the ball from side to side and get touches for each and everybody. And the more the ball moves, the player movement, ball movement, you usually get open shots.
We've been talking about it in our office throughout the week. Just kind of now that we're the second time through the MAC, some of the weird results that you'll see, going in. I wouldn't expect NIU, for example, to hang with Akron, and they kind of gave them a big fight, and Miami's lost 2 in a row on the road to us, obviously, and then Eastern beat them pretty good the other night. It's just, this league, you just kind of don't know night to night what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's funny. The parity in our league is it's unreal because if you don't show up and you don't have the right mindset, you can get beat by anyone. And I think on the flip side, you can beat anyone. And we've kind of proven that we can hang with the best in our league. And I think we're starting to play well at the right time. So we just want to continue to have that positive momentum and energy and just effort on the defensive end and ride it out.
Yeah, it seemed like that Miami win last Saturday was kind of one of those where people would have been checking the box scores after their game and be like, whoa, didn't necessarily expect that one.
Yeah, I'm sure they were, but we were down about how we played at their place, and we knew we could play better. And give the guys a lot of credit. They came out with unbelievable determination to get something done, and we were able to do it.
You guys have had some really exciting wins in your short tenure so far. You had some record-breaking, offensive. You've scored 127 points in a game. You've scored 108 in your first MAC win against Bowling Green. You had senior night last year where Akron, brought in the national TV audience, and they knew that they were going to be a top seed. We were fighting to get into the tournament. They got out to a big lead, came back, and got the win there. But this Saturday has a chance to be one of the more special games we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I know the guys are excited. We went over there. We feel like we didn't play our best, and whenever you feel like you didn't play your best, you bummed out. If someone beats you and you played as well as you can play, don't say you can live with it, but you're upset. But you're like, okay, we gave it our best shot. They were the better team. And, we just didn't feel like we played our best. So we got to continue to work to get better, and hopefully we can come out Saturday and play a little better.
We've talked about it a little bit already, but just this rivalry game. Rivalry games are always some of the most fun games. They're also very intense. But what does this particular rivalry mean to you now in your third season coaching at it?
Yeah, rivalry games are what you live for. You go to college and you play those big games. For me, being at Michigan State, it was Michigan State, Michigan, and now it's Western and Central, and those are huge games, man. They all count one, but the rivalry game means a little more. It counts just a little bit more.
Well, especially when it's kind of a log jam in the MAC standings right now, and they're trying to climb up and try and catch you guys, because right now they're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, well, I think, like you said, there's been crazy things happening in our league, and I know that they're going to come in and they're going to play their hearts out, and we have to try to match their energy and their effort, and it should be a heck of a game.
Looking back at the game from Mount Pleasant about a month ago, it was a tough shooting night for the Broncos, and they had that big sellout crowd, and they did the toilet paper toss, and it seems like kind of a waste to me personally. But anyway, when you put the film on for that one, what kind of stood out to for that game?
Yeah, it just kind of, when you watch that film, you go back and look at it. We had some really good looks. We felt like, some shots that we would normally knock down that we just didn't make, and give them a lot of credit. They played harder than us, I felt. And, that's why I say we have to make sure when we come out this weekend that we just play a lot harder and with more energy and, just kind of ride the wave that we kind of been on. Defensively, we've been playing a lot better, so I think it's going to be a heck of a matchup.
You guys have been facing some of the top point guards in the league the last few games. You were able to limit Tyson Dunn pretty well to, I think, just 2 points the other night after he nearly had a triple-double. Anthony Pritchard is the assignment this week for your guys, at least at the point guard spot. What does he kind of bring when it comes to being a challenge to defend?
Yeah, so Pritchard's one of the more dynamic players in our league. He does a really good job in transition of getting to the basket. He does a good job of making sure that he distributes the ball to his teammates. And, he's really good with his back downs and he plays well in the ball screen. So, and then on top of that, he was Defensive Player of the Year last year. So he has a complete game, and, we got to make sure we are ready and ready to go at him and try to take away some of his strengths.
One of their big guys, he didn't play in the first game. I'm not going to try to pronounce his full name, but I think they call him Oogie up there. He did not play the first time you guys played. He's averaging nearly a double-double, actually nearly 20 points a game in MAC play. What kind of challenges does he present for you guys inside?
Yeah, he's a load in there. He does a really good job of ducking in, and he can score around the basket with both his left and right hands, and he can step away from the basket and knock down threes. So, we're going to have to make sure we do the job on him. He is a very talented player. He's strong. He's big. So we're going to have our work cut out.
And it wouldn't be a Broncos Chippewas battle if it wasn't a war on the boards, right?
Oh, for sure. And, at their place, they beat us on the boards by 5. And, that's one of our staples. That's what we go into games talking about, winning the rebounding battle. And unfortunately for us, we didn't win it versus them. And we look to turn that around this second time around.
You brought Javon Hanna and Chauncey Willis Jr., a couple of your veteran guards with you tonight. What have they meant during this kind of turnaround of sorts of the last handful of games?
Well, it's been really good. I think both guys have elevated their game. Both are scoring well, and both are playing really well on the defensive end. Like I say, it's amazing when you focus maybe more on the defensive end, you get more opportunities offensively. Just kind of weird how that works out, and I think it's been happening for both guys. After we played Ohio, I had a meeting with Chauncey, and I kind of challenged him, and the same with Javon. We met and just talked about him kind of getting back to his defensive mindset that he had last year, where he's locked down defender, and he's been able to do that, and Chauncey's responded, and both guys are playing better on the defensive end, but also on the offensive end. So it's a win-win for us.
Coach, thanks for stopping by, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks for having me. Go Broncos.
Don't forget about the rivalry special, wbroncos.com/rivalry special, $10 upper level tickets. We also got free pizza for students on Saturday, so plenty of incentive to come out and watch the Broncos and the Chippewas. We'll be back with Javon Hanna and Chauncey Willis Jr. after this quick timeout here on the Bronco Coaches Show.
It all started with a war hero and wounded warrior. Sealy began on Portage Road in Kalamazoo in 1963. A lot has happened since then, and a lot has changed. But at Sealy, the more things changed, the more they stayed the same. Trust, customer service, and community. These are the qualities that made Sealy then and what Sealy represents today. Celebrating over 60 years of serving our community and customers with excellence.
Attention Bronco fans. Looking for a direct way to show your support? Meet Roy, the mobile app that lets you back your favorite college athletes. If knowing exactly where your money is going matters to you, now's your chance to make a difference. With Roy, you choose which athlete receives your support, helping keep your favorite players on the team. Download the Roy app today and join us in shaping the future of your athletic program. Roy is a proud partner of WMU Athletics and the Broncos Will Reign Collective.
Get a fresh view in Kalamazoo. Wander museums, catch a show, and see a classic or two. Unwind, open up, try something new. Bike around, make a splash, and explore nature's hue. Hit the trails, grab a bite, then relax with a brew. Be curious, get loud. There's so much to do. Find all this and more in Kalamazoo.
Welcome back to the Bronco Coaches Show. We're here at Old Burdick's at Wings West as the downtown location gets a little bit of a renovation and a refresh. Rob Lowy for Robin Hook this weekend. I'm joined by a couple of junior guards from the Bronco men's basketball team, Chauncey Willis Jr. and Javon Hanna here tonight. A couple of guys from the state of Michigan. We'll talk about that rivalry with Central coming up here in a couple of minutes. But first, guys, I want to go back to the Miami game. We've had a lot of pretty great dunks this year, but one of the best dunks of the year, I think, was the one, Chauncey, that you set up Javon for in the Saturday game against Miami. Kind of a length of the floor break. Kind of take me through the start of that play and what you saw.
I mean, I just threw it up. But we always talk about it in practice. Like, he told me always just to throw it. So I'm throw it towards the rim and then he'd go get it. So I mean, I seen that opportunity to go do it, so I did it.
Javon, to be on the receiving end of a pass like that, just kind of take me through of when you know he's going to throw it.
Shoot, again, I just see it in the air. As soon as I see it, we make eye contact, I'm running the wing, I see him, and I just be like, if he throw it, I'm going to get it. I don't got no choice but to get it. However you throw it, I just know I got to go get it.
I didn't have the best angle at look at it, but I saw it up there, like, I'm not quite sure Javon's going to get it, and not only did you get there, but you got it with authority.
Yeah, I had to, because I tell him all the time, like, hey, if you throw it, I got to go get it. Got to get an assist and make a highlight play for our team, so yeah.
Safe to say you had your Wheaties that morning to get that extra little lift in there?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you guys have been playing really well the last couple of games. You guys started off really hot. Markai went 5 for 5 at the beginning, and it seemed like you guys kind of fed off each other, and everything started to go in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing super connected lately. I think we really found our stride, and this is the best time to find our stride. We're doing everything that we possibly can to just put our best product out on the floor and just come out with wins at the end of the day.
You had 27 assists. Chauncey, you had 8, tying your career high against Buffalo in that 97-64 win. It kind of starts with you and with the assists to get the offense going, but you know it's kind of fun when everybody shares it too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, my coach DJ always tells me just control the game, go out there and control the game. So I go out there, do my best at controlling the game, and come out with a win.
When everybody is kind of going like that, just as the point guard, when you kind of feel like you kind of take ownership of that, I would think that's got to be very satisfying that you're not just setting one guy up, but we had 5 guys in double figures the other night.
Yeah, I mean, we all 8. I just say we all 8. We went out there and played because we all wanted it. Like we owe a lot of guys. So we just go out there day to day, practice, and in the game, just going out there to play.
Chauncey, you're in your first year with the program. What has been the biggest transformation that you've seen in this team since you arrived here over the summer?
I'd probably say me talking more. So me being vocal to my teammates more and just letting them know that I got their back and that they can take any shot. Any shot, I'm going to set them up good.
Javon, you've been a part of the program now. This is your 3rd season.
Yeah.
You've been with Coach DJ the whole time that he's been here. What have you kind of seen the growth in the program, not even just this year, but since you started as a freshman?
I just say just the mentality of the guys that we have, just understanding what the coaches are putting into us and just knowing that me being a guy that's been here and seen what our coaches are trying to do for us, just knowing that mentality is what's going to get us to where we want to be and ultimately be champions of the match.
All right, I got a couple of quick hitters for you guys, so we'll have to go back and forth. I want you guys to both answer both of these questions. Joanne, since you have the mic, we'll start with you. What's been your favorite road trip or your favorite moment on the road so far this season?
Buffalo, because we just had a huge win.
Yeah, for sure. We scored 97 points in a blowout win. I mean, that's fun.
Yeah.
Favorite road? I'd probably say Buffalo. Too. I'd say Buffalo.
Did you guys get wings after the game?
Yeah, we got wings on there.
They're pretty good. They do it right over there.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
All right, who is the funniest player on the team, and who thinks they're the funniest player on the team? Could be the same answer.
I gotta go with Donovan. Donovan's the funniest on the team, and I'd probably say Siri think he the funniest on the team.
I could see that, Javon.
No, yeah, that's facts. Don is a comedian, bro. Don is the
Don got
this
it.
person.
Don,
Yeah.
Don.
And then, yeah, I'd probably say the same. Probably Siri. No. B-More for sure.
No, or Bebo, or Bebo.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, who would make the best coach when their playing career is over, you think?
That's tough. I might say myself, honestly.
Okay.
I might say myself.
What is that?
I don't know. I
Just leadership? Or
Yeah. Not even leadership. I just couldn't see nobody else being a coach for
is that something you would want to do potentially?
potentially. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Chauncey? Who do you think? Would he make a good coach?
Yeah, he'd make a good coach, but if I was to like think, I say Jack. Jack probably would, because Jack keep us together. So I'll probably say Jack.
That makes sense. I could see that. He's kind of been around there. He's kind of quiet, but he's kind of vocal when he needs to be.
Yeah.
All right. What's if you could play one sport other than basketball? What would it be? I think I might know your answer, but go ahead.
My answer gonna be football.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he's a state champion in football, so
No.
What about you?
I'd probably say football too. I grew up playing football until about 8th grade, so probably football.
When did you know that it was basketball for you though, when you gave up football?
My mom chose for me. I ended up getting a concussion in 8th grade, and she was like, "Yeah, no more." So
Yeah.
that's what it was.
You don't want to mess with the concussions.
Most definitely not.
Fair enough. All right, we'll start with you for this one. Now, what's your game day routine like? What are you eating? What's your nap situation?
Oh yeah, so typically wake up, we have breakfast, and then on road trips we watch film at home. We have shoot around right after we eat. But then yeah, breakfast, and then take a little nap. I try to get an hour and a half in. Wake up, have pregame meal, and then from pregame meal to before the game, I go and like just meditate and pray and just make sure my body's feeling right. And then after that is game time. So yeah.
What's on your pregame playlist?
A little bit of anything, honestly, just pretty much depending on what I'm feeling. Sometimes I listen to some rap, sometimes like last game I listened to some jazz music before the game. I don't know why, it just came to my mind and I did it, so it was pretty much whatever.
We'll keep that going. Because
Yeah,
obviously
for
it
sure.
worked.
About to
8 of
turn on
11. Not bad. All right, Chauncey, same question. Game day routine and then game day playlist.
Game day routine, on the roads, we got film, then breakfast, then probably go shoot around, and after I get back, I talk to my mom for like probably take 10, 15 minutes. We just talk about life, and then after that, I don't really take naps. I don't really eat though either. I probably eat some fruit, but yeah, that's it, man. Then it's game time. Then that's it, and then I listen to Lil Baby, so Lil Baby, that's all I listen to.
Gotcha. All right, last one before we get you guys out of here. Big rivalry game on Saturday. What does it mean to you guys to play in this rivalry game?
It means a lot. I've been a part of rivalry, Cavs versus King. I went to King, so I know what rivalry feel like, and we owe them one. Like I said earlier in the interview that we was talking about Central, we owe them one, so we're gonna get it back. We're on a revenge tour right now.
And Javon?
Yeah, obviously this is my 3rd year. I have 1 win in this rivalry matchup, so I'm really just trying to just express what it really means to me. It means a lot, truthfully. Like, it really means a lot. Like, I personally feel like I haven't done my job to help us get to where we want to be in this matchup. So from here on out, I will, and looking forward to this weekend and just making our statement and just continuing what we do and just putting on another show for the Bronco fans.
Well, best of luck to you guys. Thanks for coming out and meet those Chippewas on Saturday.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for having us.
Thank you.
We'll come back and switch gears over to women's basketball after this quick timeout. This is the Bronco Coaches Show from Burdick's Wings West.
How far do you have to go to find a great deal on a new Ford SUV?
Not too far.
How about a new Ford F-150?
Not too far.
How about for basic maintenance and service?
Not too far at all. With Dorrance Ford's mobile service, we'll come to you.
Nice.
Now's the time to buy because we're making room for the 2025 Fords and moving out the 24s. Come in now for the best selection. Dorrance Ford is proud to support Bronco Athletics. Shop Dorrance Ford.
Not too far for your next car.
Burdick's has burgers, not burgers. Burgers. All natural, honest to bigness, bona fide, aged steak, beef, burgers. Or chickpea. And Burdick's has beer, not beer. Beer. Whether it's winning the big game or winning at life, it all happens right here at Old Burdick's.
Attention Bronco fans. Looking for a direct way to show your support? Meet Roy, the mobile app that lets you back your favorite college athletes. If knowing exactly where your money is going matters to you, now's your chance to make a difference. With Roy, you choose which athlete receives your support, helping keep your favorite players on the team. Download the Roy app today and join us in shaping the future of your athletic program. Roy is a proud partner of WMU Athletics and the Broncos Will Reign Collective.
Back here on the Bronco Coaches Show, we're at Old Burdick's at Wings West, while the downtown location gets a little bit of a renovation. Rob Lau in for Robin Hook this week, now joined by head women's basketball coach Shane Cliffell. Coach, thanks for being here.
Happy to be here at Wings West as I'm looking up at the two greatest number 20s in Lions history, Barry Sanders and Billy Sims, man. I watched those guys growing up and never got old seeing them play.
Up there with a couple other Lions legends as well, Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson.
Indeed, yeah. This Wall of Fame for sure for the Lions right there.
Absolutely. Inspiring to look at.
Absolutely.
Well, last night you guys got yourselves in a little bit of a big hole. You battled back as you've been tending to do, but ultimately a 70-63 loss to Bowling Green. What was kind of the key to clawing your way back into it after the slow start?
Well, I mean, this team never quits. I think that's a trademark of this team, and that's a great thing. Obviously, it's the not so great thing is the hole that we dug ourselves to begin with, and we've done that now too many times on the year, but now in back-to-back games, so we have to try and put a finger on that and find a solution to that, and not give ourselves such a hole to climb out of. But a lot of it was what things that we did, some of it was things that Bowling Green did, and the combination was just not very good for us. And but again, I give our team a lot of credit that we found a way to get back in that, cut it to 4 or 3. I can't remember as close as we got, but we couldn't climb over the proverbial fence and finish it off.
One of the big reasons why you guys were able to work your way back into it was turnovers. You forced 19 of them, and you didn't really give it away that much. You were +6 in turnover margin. We talked about it last time you were on the show with Hannah Spitzley and some of the other players. They just happen to be in the right place at the right time and have a knack for getting some steals and key times.
Yeah, Hannah's an interesting player because she's our leading steals person. She was in the top half of the MAC, probably still is for steals, but you don't look at her and say, boy, she's a lockdown defender or anything like that. But she has a knack for the ball. She knows how to anticipate. She's a good reader of passing lanes, and she's got just a candy ability for coming up with the basketball, and a lot of those turnovers were created, and like you said, we only had 13 and we had 7 of those ourselves in the first 10 minutes, so we played the next 30 minutes with only 6, so it tells you how good we can be at taking care of the basketball. We just have to get out of the hole a little bit better.
One of the other things, too, is you guys had a lot of foul trouble last night, and Hannah and Marina Asensio in particular, but they both did a great job of staying in the game and guarding well without fouling, considering that to be a little careful.
Yeah. Why'd you have to bring up fouls, Rob?
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a sore subject for me last night, still is a little bit today, but one thing we always tell our players is figure out how the game is being called and then adjust to how the game is being called, and that's what we try and preach, and I always tell them to let me do the complaining if it needs to be done, and they're really good at doing that, and I think we did adjust to how the game was being called, and that's again a credit to our crew, and as you said, for Hannah and Marina to navigate the foul trouble. Hannah fouled out ultimately at the end of it, but really good job of them keeping themselves on the floor.
They've both been in double figures for nearly every MAC game. I was looking at the game by game, and it was basically a minimum of 10 points, and more often than not, 15 or so for both of them, which just makes them both such consistent scores for you guys.
Yeah, they really are. They're both consistent and both very efficient at the same time, and they're starting to realize the attention that they're garnering from that. So I think the consistent thing we can expect down the stretch here is people trying to get physical with us and when they can, and especially with those two. And I think those two have to continue to get better at handling those kinds of situations and adjusting to how they're being played. But also the way they're being guarded opens up other scoring options for us that might not be available otherwise. And we have some capabilities of people stepping into scoring roles to complement and both not complement when the other two are scoring, but fill in when they're being shut out or closed out as they have been sometimes.
And last night it was Demai Bowles who really came through. 5 of 7 from the field, 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 blocks in just 13 minutes. She was the perfect example, like you said, of someone else benefiting when they're, kind of guarding Hannah and Marina closely.
Yeah, she's with us tonight, so folks are going to get to hear from her. But it was a really good game for her. She probably won't talk about this, but I will. But that group, and she was in it, was challenged pretty well from me at the beginning of the week, and we wanted more from them. We expected more from them because we think they have it in them, and she responded exceedingly well. And I told her that's great news, and it's also cautious news because now we're going to expect that on a consistent basis, and I think she's going to be ready to deliver on that.
Another player that seems like she's getting more and more comfortable as the weeks go by is Allie Carlson. As she's gotten more and more healthy as the season has gone on. What do you kind of see from her? As she and Marina have kind of both share the load in terms of running the offense a lot of the time for you guys.
Yeah, Allie's one of the toughest kids I've ever been around, to be honest with you. She's dealing with shin stuff right now. She's dealing with ankle things right now, and the only way I know it is because I know it. But people from the outside looking in would think that kid's healthy and she can play 36, 38 minutes a game, and she is doing that through sheer determination and the fact that she knows our team needs it. A lot of kids that are honestly in the situation that she's in probably would shut it down, and she just refuses to. And we're fortunate because of that. She's just one tough cookie.
Well, you guys have Central Michigan as well coming up this weekend. You're heading out there. We'll talk a little bit about that after this quick time out here on the Bronco Coaches Show from Old Burdick's at Wings West.
Burdick's has burgers, not burgers, burgers. All natural, honest to bigness, bona fide, aged steak, beef, burgers. Or chickpea. And Burdick's has beer, not beer, beer. Whether it's winning the big game or winning at life, it all happens right here at Old Burdick's.
Get a fresh view in Kalamazoo. Wander museums, catch a show, and see a classic or two. Unwind, open up, try something new. Bike around, make a splash, and explore nature's hue. Hit the trails, grab a bite, then relax with a brew. Be curious, get loud. There's so much to do. Find all this and more in Kalamazoo.
Back here on the Bronco Coaches Show, Coach Clipfell from the women's basketball program joining us here right now. We're getting ready for a rivalry on the women's side as well. You guys are going up to Mount Pleasant, but before we kind of zoom in on that game, let's zoom out and kind of, now that your team is a little bit more healthier than it was during non-conference play, how do you feel like your rotation is kind of shaping up?
Yeah, just as we were getting there, we lost Maggie, and Maggie's kind of in and out right now and day to day, and but this is probably as healthy as we're going to be and as close to being consistent as we have been all season. So hopefully we can keep her in the lineup and keep getting minutes out of her. And it has shaped us. It's been a challenge to navigate with all of the, it's one thing when you lose a player for the season, like we lost Nile in the fall, so we had time to kind of adjust and get ready for that. It's a totally different scenario when you're losing them and they're coming back, and then we're losing somebody else and then they're coming back. And so the constant change of role playing basically, and lineup shifting and position switching, and it's just becomes very complicated at best. And this group has done a good job of doing whatever role we've ended up having to put them in and then change them back to when somebody else comes back or goes out. So it's been a bit of a chess game, if you will, to move the pieces in the right spot, but I think we're as close as we're going to get now.
In a way, it could potentially be beneficial in that people are going to be used to playing different roles and different assignments and things like that as you prepare for, some really important games down the stretch where one game, one stretch could be the difference between, winning and advancing or going home.
No question. And part of when we talked about this with our group, and I've talked about it publicly, is the fact that we were so banged up in the beginning and allowed our freshmen to get some minutes that they might not have been able to get otherwise. I think it's paid dividends. Like Demacia is a good example of that, having played a lot earlier in her career than maybe she would have because of some injuries. You could see how that, if we were just putting her out there yesterday for the first time in a good while with not a lot of experience, you probably wouldn't have seen the performance that she had. So it has been beneficial. It's been frustrating, but it's also been beneficial at the same time.
We talked about this with Coach DJ a couple of minutes ago about the MAC is just kind of a crazy league in that anybody can beat anybody on any given night. You never really know what's going to happen, especially the second time through when teams are more familiar with each other. I think it's the same thing on the women's side as well. We saw Ball State finally go down for the first time the other night, and pretty much any time you roll the ball out there, you never really know what you're going to get from night to night.
Yeah, no question. And I was listening to Coach DJ talk about that. Like if you think you can take a night off in our conference, you can just ring it up in the lost side because teams will take advantage of that. And I thought the same thing. I thought Ball State was going to go unblemished through the season, and the team that beat them is the Toledo team is a team that we beat early at the beginning of the year. So it's just it's been crazy to see how some of the scores have been coming up and down. Ohio just picked up a unlikely win over Northern Illinois after it looked like there was going to be a little separation from the bottom teams, and it's going to be a 5-game fight for everybody's lives, or at least in terms of the last, I'd say 6 or 7 teams in the conference to get those last 2 spots.
Yeah, both sides. The standings kind of after you get past the top couple, it's just kind of a log jam on both sides, really, like 4 through 9 or 10.
Yeah, for sure, and it was like that last year, and it's literally came down to the last game of the season last year, regular season, to sort things out, and we don't want to wait that long. We'd like to take care of it before that. We have a tough way to finish it with 2 road games at Ohio and at Buffalo, so we're working hard. I thought both of the last 2 games that we lost, we ultimately played well enough to win in both of those. We just had a stretch in the first quarter of both of those games that just was too much to overcome.
Well, the tough schedule coming in the last couple of weeks starts on Saturday afternoon. You guys will be in Mount Pleasant taking on the Chippewas. You owe them one as well, like the men do. As you look at this rivalry, you've been coaching in it for a while now. What does Western Michigan, Central Michigan, what does that rivalry mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a game you look forward to. It's there's not many times when you finish a game you're already talking about the next team, and this is what happens in rivalry stuff. And honestly, it starts the week. It's not just it doesn't start for a Saturday game on Thursday. It starts on Sunday leading up to it. That the whole week is kind of dedicated to getting mentally and physically prepared for that battle. And we've had some good ones over the years with them, and Central had its run of the conference there for a while, and probably one of my most memorable games so far has been knocking them out as a number 1 seed in the MAC tournament couldn't tell you what year that was. Been a while ago, but yeah, it's nobody cares what the records are in these situations, and it always comes down to a really good basketball game, physically and mentally.
They shot it pretty well when they came here and won last month. What else did you guys take away from that first meeting with them?
Well, they shot it really well, and more importantly, they rebound the ones they miss really well. So that's going to be the biggest factor in this game coming in. And you know, we're going on the road, and we know that takes a little bit more. Although we're kind of defying logic with playing better at home than on the road. So maybe we'll play better on the road than we did at home against them the first time, and we're going to need to and do a really good job of nullifying. Can't keep them off the glass, but we have to keep them to the lowest number possible to give ourselves the best chance of winning.
Absolutely. So you talked about it a little bit earlier. You brought a couple of freshmen here with you tonight, Demijah Bolds and Allie Harness. So what have they brought to the program in their first year as Broncos?
Yeah, both really good players, and future is really good for them. And we talked to all our freshmen a lot about long-term commitment and what the process looks like for, like in this class, we have 4 freshmen. And the process is very different for all 4 of them, and to not look at what somebody else's process might be in terms of are they playing a lot, playing a little, not playing at all, but look at what their process is looking like for future and long-term commitment, and then put your blinders on and go to work and work on your process. And I think these 2 have done a really good job of that.
Well, thanks for stopping by and bring back a win.
Absolutely, we're going to do the best we can.
We're going to take another timeout and come back with a couple of the freshmen from the women's team that we were talking about here moments ago. We'll come back with them after this quick timeout here at Old Verdicts at Wings West on the Bronco Coaches Show.
Verdicts has burgers, not burgers. Burgers. All natural, honest to bigness, bona fide, aged steak, beef, burgers. Or chickpea. And Verdicts has beer, not beer. Beer. Whether it's winning the big game or winning at life, it all happens right here at Old Verdicts.
Hi, I'm Jim Vandenberg. If you've been driving around, you've noticed empty lots and no new cars. We understand how frustrating this can be. That's why we've done the legwork for you. We're getting in CPO shipments from coast to coast to bring you the best late model vehicles with certified warranties. Don't get taken advantage of with markups on new and used cars. We make sure you get the best value for your car buying dollar. Maple Hill Auto Group, for value like no other.
Back here for our final segment of tonight's Bronco Coaches Show here at Old Verdicts at Wings West. Rob Lau filling in for Robin Hook. He's out in the desert. Bronco hockey at Arizona State. Big NCHC matchup this weekend. You can watch it right here at Old Verdicts at Wings West. They have NCHC.tv if you don't. Joined now by a couple of freshmen from Coach Clitfell's women's basketball team. We have Allie Harness here in the middle from Burlington, Indiana, and Demijah Bolds on the other end from O'Fallon, Illinois. These are both freshmen. And Demijah, actually, I want to start with you and talk a little bit about the game last night. You came off the bench, 11 points in just 13 minutes, and you guys really needed a spark, and you provided it. What's it like to come off the bench and be that efficient like that in the game that you guys needed?
I mean, I would say I just got out there and knew I needed to help my team, and just like Coach Shane said earlier, the challenge that he gave the bigs, so I just wanted to commit to that and just be able to help my team out.
You had 4 blocks as well. What does it take to be a good shot blocker? It's not something I've experienced with at all of 5'8".
I mean, it takes body control and also just having that grit to just be you're not getting the shot off, there's no way possible. So just having that mindset.
You guys are both freshman here. Allie, you scored 2,000 points in high school. Also left your school with a career record for assists. So I would imagine that you were either scoring or assisting on just about every basket for your team by the time you were a senior.
Yeah, it was a senior-led team when I was in high school, and we were all really close. So it was just easy to know how everyone plays, and we just had a fun time all the time.
Absolutely. What was your recruiting experience like, and what made Western Michigan the right choice for you?
Obviously, when I visited here on my official visit, all the girls are really close, and I got really close with the coaching staff, and I just felt like it was a really good atmosphere, and it was a family atmosphere, and that was what I was looking for.
Imagine you won a state championship when you were in high school. What was that experience like?
It was pretty fun. I mean, it hadn't got done in years, so just to be able to go out there and get it done and just prove a statement to our conference and other people that doubted us, it was pretty fun to do.
What made Western Michigan the right choice for you?
When I came on my official visit, I mean, I just felt like it was home. Even though I'm 6 hours away, I just felt really comfortable, and I feel like I'd be have a close relationship with the girls and the coaches, and that's where I'm at now.
As a freshman, there's so much to get acclimated to, on the court and off the court. Jamaja, we'll start with you since you have the microphone. What's the biggest thing you've learned since you first got here over the summer?
I mean, I would say just putting work in, whether you plan or not, just continue staying to the course and just trusting God's plan, and also being there for your teammates and still celebrating their success even though it may not be your time at the moment.
Allie, what about you? Same question. What have you learned the most?
Just going off what Demaja said, just also staying patient, I think, is really important. Even if you're playing or not, always support your team and support other people's successes before yours is really big too. And just keep working hard every day, no matter what happens.
Where's this team grown the most, would you say, since you first stepped on campus?
I think we've grown closer as a team, honestly, and just everyone supporting each other has really been huge, because we want to go far, and a close team is what you need is to go far.
Demaja, would you agree with that, or is there something else you think?
I agree with Ellie. Our chemistry has gotten better, and also I love the way how everybody support and celebrate each other's successes. So I think that's a big thing, to have a part of a team, because there are teams out here who not really players jealous of each other, but not really supportive. So I think this is a really supportive team, and everybody just love each other.
All right, some more quick hitter questions. I asked this to the guys, and they both said the Buffalo trip. What has been your favorite road trip or moment on the road so far this season? You guys had some fun road trips down to Texas and some other places.
Yeah, I think my favorite one was when we just had the Sun Belt Challenge in Texas. I mean, after the game, we were just downtown, just having fun, being girls.
What about you, Allie? What's your favorite trip so far?
I would say the same. We won, and everyone was so happy, and I don't know, I feel we got closer after that too. I feel after every game we get closer together, no matter if we win or lose, because it's a learning experience.
If you could play one sport outside of basketball, what would it be?
I would say volleyball.
Did you play that in high school?
I played 1 year in high school.
And you decided that basketball was the one for you?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Demaja, same question. If you weren't playing basketball, what would your other sport be?
It would be volleyball for sure. I played my junior year in high school.
Okay. Were you outside or a middle?
A middle.
Oh, okay. I can see that. You got the long arms. You had 4 blocks last night, so I'd imagine you get a lot in a volleyball match too with those long arms.
Yeah.
All right. We'll start with you, Demaja, on this one. What's your game day routine and what's on your game day playlist?
Well, we have shoot around first, and then we have free-game meal, and then afterwards I just chill until it's time for us to go back to the gym and shoot around and warm up. And then my pregame playlist, I mean, I listen to a lot of rappers, but the main one is Lil Baby.
Okay, so you and Chauncey have a similar musical taste then, huh?
Yeah, that's my friend, so.
Okay, fair enough. Allie, what about you? What's your game day routine like, and what are you listening to?
We have shoot around and pregame meal, and then I usually just chill with Demaja, and then I usually go and shoot before the game just to get some shots up, and then I usually listen to Drake.
Okay. Is there any particular song or just any kind of Drake?
Just any kind of Drake.
Okay, fair enough. Last one, and then we'll get you guys out of here. This will be the second time you guys have played in this rivalry against Central Michigan. You lost the first one, so you're looking for some revenge, but what does it mean to you to play in a big rivalry like this one?
I mean, obviously we're freshmen, so we're like new to this, but I think it's really important to go out there and have fun, but also be ready and beat them. So.
Absolutely. Tamaja, what about you?
I mean, like, based off of what Ellie said, like, just going out there having fun, but also compete and, like, just staying locked in. Because it's a rivalry game, so they're not just going to lay down us. So I feel like we're up for the challenge, and we're going to come back with a dub.
Awesome. Well, absolutely. Thank you for your time this evening, and good luck. Beat those Chippewas, all right?
Thank you.
That's going to do it for tonight's Bronco Coaches Show. Don't forget that Saturday at 1 p.m., the men's game at University Arena. We've got WBroncos.com/rivalry special for discounted upper-level tickets. There's also a concession deal, popcorn, drink, hot dog, and no chips. So that's a special as well at the concessions stands on Saturday afternoon. So we want to see you there, and then listen to the women's game on the radio while you're there. You get a double dose of Broncos against Chippewas basketball rivalry on Saturday. So that'll do it for my guest tonight, Rob Lau, signing off, saying thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week, and go Broncos.